What's up, guys? My name is Colin Brandon. Welcome to my channel where we just pretty much talk college sports, I'd say all day, every day, but we only do it really like 2 times a week. So let's get into it. Today are my predictions for, the week of December 7th games. We got a lot of ACC Big Ten Challenge. That's mostly what's going to cover. I think we got a little, Creighton, Kansas, Florida, FSU, San Diego State, ASU, thrown in there too. But it should be a lot of fun, a lot of good basketball this week. So let's get to these predictions. And please, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it. You can also wait to the end, and if you find enjoyment, subscribe then. But please leave me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that as well. Let's get into it. So Tuesday, we got Creighton versus Kansas. I believe that is at 4 o'clock Central Time. And I'll try to say the date. I'm not sure if I have the times off the top of my head. I just know that one because they're playing it early because there are so many good games on Tuesday. So Kansas, they have looked like a pretty solid basketball team. And off the top of my head, I would say yes, we're going to go Kansas because they seem to be pretty solid defensively. What are they? 3-1. The only loss is to Gonzaga, who's the best team in college basketball. But the thing that worries me is that the other teams that Kansas has played and beaten are not as good offensively as Creighton will be. Creighton is, not on Gonzaga's level offensively, but they are a high-level offensive basketball club. They really are. And I think that if it turns into a shootout, Creighton's, going to win it. But if Kansas can control the tempo, they give themselves a huge opportunity to win, and I think that they can pull it out. If it's a close game, I like Kansas down the stretch. If it gets out to 8, 9, 10 points, I think it's going to be Creighton's ball game to lose. So my pick there is probably going to be Creighton right now. I'm just going to say for sure Creighton. And please let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. If you differ from the picks than the ones I picked, please let me know. I would love to discuss it because it's always fun to talk sports. Then we got UNC versus Iowa. Now this is a pretty sweet matchup. It's going to be Iowa's first real test. UNC's kind of battle hardened already. This is a series with some history. I think they've played 4 times since like the 1980s. I could be wrong about the exact dates. 2 times since the year 2000. Iowa is up 3-1 on the series. The series is decided by like less than 10 points, if I'm not mistaken either. 1-1 since 2000. Last time I think Iowa they went in there went to Chapel Hill into the Dean Dome, beat them there by about 5 points. It was a low-scoring game, but UNC has had issues with Iowa in the past. So I think that the initial edge goes to Iowa. But again, this is Iowa's first real test. Okay, UNC has the size inside, with a couple big freshmen to be able to put on Luka Garza. Luka Garza has not played anybody his size yet, really. So I don't necessarily think that they're going to be crazy effective because they're still freshmen. They're going against, one of the best big men, or the best big men this year in college basketball, and one of the best big men I can remember in the past 10 years offensively in college basketball. So if this is another game a lot similar to the Creighton Kansas game, that if it starts going into a shootout, and points are being scored quickly, Iowa's going to run away with it. And people don't realize that Iowa is a lot more than just Luka Garza. Joe Wieskamp, Bohannon, Frederick. Bohannon I know is having a down year, but that dude, we've seen what he can do in the past, and that dude can take over a ball game pretty quickly. So don't count him out. Frederick, this team has some animals, man. They are very good basketball players on the offensive side of the ball. And I know that, I'm always quick to say offensive side of the ball for Iowa because their defense is pretty lackluster. It really is. And maybe this is the game that, Caleb Love has his coming out party. And if that happens, I really like North Carolina in this game. If Caleb Love steps up and I think that guy is going to be an NBA basketball player, Caleb Love. I really do. And right now, he's averaging just over 10 points. But I think that he can step up and absolutely be a star sometime this year. Don't know when that's going to be. If it's against Iowa, that's going to be awesome for UNC and UNC fans. That is going to be a solid game, and he could win you that ball game. I think he has that type of potential. But you got a solid team. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a close game. If it's close, I like UNC's chances a lot. Very similar to the Creighton game, like I was saying. If it gets into a shootout, Iowa's going to run away with it. I'm going to say Iowa is a slight favorite for me just because of their offensive abilities. and especially because UNC has not looked amazing on offense. They got some good offensive pieces. They do. I think they got like 4 guys in double digits, but no one really that I think can take over a ball game just yet. So I'm going to have to go with Iowa. Next one, another ACC Big Ten matchup. My Fighting Illini, as you can see. Whoa, this side, the mirror's weird. Got my Illini basketball there, signed by the man, Brett Underwood. So this might have a little bit of bias, but I try to do everything unbiased, I promise. Duke, I'm going based off that Duke-Michigan State game, okay? Michigan State got down early. Duke got out to a pretty sweet lead. They were looking good. But then Duke kind of started looking young. And I know they have some upperclassmen on that team, but the real stars are going to be the young guys, okay? Joey Baker, Jordan Goldwire, like those guys are not going to take over games offensively. They're just not. I thought back in the past that Joey Baker was going to be a sweet offensive option, but it turns out that hasn't been the case. I think Jalen Johnson is a sleeping giant. I really do. Even more so than Caleb Love. Well, maybe not more so, but pretty similar. I think that dude can be a very, very good basketball player. And if he wakes up against Illinois could be in some trouble. But here's what I think it's going to come down to. I think Illinois' backcourt is just so experienced. Io, Frazier, not Miller. Miller's a young guy, but you get what I'm saying. They have some experience on their team. And I think that, especially at the guard position, that is so valuable. A guy like Io, I think, is going to dictate the pace of that game. And Kofi's going to handle whatever you throw at him. He really is, as long as he stays out of foul trouble. I think the X factor here is going to be, Matthew Hurt for Duke, and it's going to be Adam Miller for Illinois. I think if Matthew Hurt starts heats up and has a huge game, he's another dude that I think has so much potential and can have a breakout year. That Illinois is going to be in some trouble if Matthew Hurt gets hot. They really are. But on the contrary, if Adam Miller starts heating up, we've seen glimpses of what that could look like, and that could be pretty deadly too. He has got a pretty sneaky mid-range, and I think that he can be a pretty elite three-point shooter. Should be a good game, but I like Illinois in this one. We got next game I got on my docket was the Louisville-Wisconsin game, but I saw that it was postponed. That's too bad. So we're gonna sub in Michigan State and Virginia. Probably should have had that one on my list anyways. I don't know how I missed it. But yeah, Michigan State, Virginia. Neither teams has looked amazing. I'm gonna be honest. Michigan State did pull out a nice one against Duke. They haven't lost yet. They've looked okay, but they've played a lot of close games with a lot of teams that make you scratch your head a little bit. Virginia has done the same, except for they've also lost. So, Michigan State. I got Michigan State. I got them in a close one. It's the Hauser Bowl. You go Joey versus Sam. Should be a fun game. Some sweet storylines there. But I think that Michigan State's just going to do it. Tom Izzo's phenomenal coach. They have some experience. Actually, they got a lot of experience. But I think Rocket Watts is playing super well. And I think that Michigan State has the ability to hang with / beat anybody in the country on any given night. And I don't see Virginia making this be their first statement win of the season. I think Virginia's going to get a lot better this year. I don't think this is the team that they're going to do it against. I got Michigan State. Probably by round 10. I got Michigan State by round 10. Yep. All right, next one I got San Diego State versus Arizona State. San Diego State, they've looked good, but the teams they've beaten, mostly UCLA. I'm just not too sure on them yet, and I don't think UCLA was at full strength when they played. And I mean they beat them pretty handily. I got to give that to them. But I got to go Arizona State here. I think that Remy Martin's too good. Their only losses to Villanova. And I know Villanova had an early loss too, but Villanova is a very good ball club, a team that can make a Final Four run. They only lost to them by about 9 points? Yeah. So I got to go with Arizona State there. Remy Martin, Josh Christopher, they got a solid team down there in Tempe. Really do. Then, that game's on Thursday, and the Michigan State Virginia game's on Wednesday. UNC Iowa, Illinois, Duke, and Creighton, Kansas are all Tuesday. Then the last game I got on this list of best games of the week that I'm picking is on Saturday, Florida versus Florida State. Florida scared me against Army. I did not know how legit this team was going to be. I thought it was kind of going to be like last year with some offensive struggles. And, they play good defense. They really do. Still not sold on that offense. I think that this Florida State's team could expose them. I got Florida State in this one. Even with how good Florida's looked recently, Florida State has the athleticism and size. Like Leonard Hamilton runs out a pretty sweet roster of just like positionless basketball players. Everyone is super long for the most part, and it's going to wreak some havoc on defense. It always does. So I got Florida State in that one. Hey, if you like this video, I'm going to keep a running tally of the games I get correct, so that could be pretty fun. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I should be dropping sports takes, I think, at least once a week, and then I'll go in depth on a video at least one other time a week. Who knows? We might get 3 in there some weeks. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and go Illini.